Race is, I would say, more than just the color of your skin. I think there's definitely a cultural aspect that comes into play.
Off the top of my head, the first thing that comes to mind is skin color, but I know that it also incorporates culture and background, both the way you were raised and your genetic base as well.
Is culture and skin color, and
I'd say race is a way of understanding different cultures and identifying their differences.
When I think about it, off the top of my head, I just think of a rich white kid from Greenwich. That's just immediately where my head goes, Greenwich, Connecticut. But I would say it is something, or a phenomenon that where white people are offered the benefit of the doubt more often than, say, other races.
I don't feel like I know a whole lot about white privilege, specifically probably because I am white and I'm probably very blind to it. I know that it does exist and there are a lot of disparities in both the professional world and on personal levels with people in their own personal choices.
white privilege would be using the pigment of your skin as an advantage in life, which I can definitely see it being like an issue.
You put on the fortunate people in society, the people that are always like regarded as like do no harm, see no evil, all that stuff, and it's just a way for them to like, it's almost a clouded judgment, a way of thinking differently about giving one favor to the white male or the white race in general comparative to.
History major, so I know a little bit of the historical background. I did my thesis on JFK, who was, before he was assassinated, his big movement in the presidency was to get the Civil Rights Voting Act passed.
Well, I'm not a history major, so I don't know a whole lot, but I know that it's made major strides for other races that were not specifically Caucasian.
Probably not as much as I should know. Dr. King, obviously, and I know there was the whole big epidemic with the civil rights, like Big Walk, I Have a Dream speech, all of that. Yeah.
I guess it started from with slavery back in the beginning, and it's just kind of like foiled over in time into it just being a totally oppressed kind of people within, that's just kind of snowballed into in the past couple of decades. So.
Personally, to be perfectly honest with you, I'm from Old Saybrook, Connecticut, a small beach town on the shoreline of Connecticut, so I haven't necessarily grown up in the most diverse settings. However, I studied abroad in Australia, and a fun little fact is I think I've met, with the exception of Antarctica, I think I've met somebody from every continent in the world.
Kind of like what I was saying before about white privilege. I'm sure that it affects me every day, and I just don't realize it because I'm definitely very privileged to lead the life I lead as a whole, regardless of race.
I mean, I'm white. It probably hasn't really affected me too much, other than, I don't know, really not understanding, I guess. That'll be the biggest thing. But
It's great to value people's differences and understand that different cultures may excel in different things. And coming from your different heritage is very important. But I don't think that makes anyone better than another person. If anything, that makes you less of a person, and you should be more appreciative for other cultures. It should be kind of the opposite.
I would like to say that I am, but truthfully, I'm not perfect.
I would say that I don't treat people differently because of their race in terms of who I'm going to be nice to or who I'm going to get along with. But I would definitely say that I do try and be like like what I was saying before with the slang words, like when those are dropped, I'm like, I don't really know how to react, and I'm suddenly very aware of who's in the room and who's not, whereas I might not have been before.
No, I mean I can tell how people act different to other races based on like you can know there's always that older like grandparent or something where it just gets uncomfortable if they say something.
Yes, but I think that being colorblind is also kind of a bad thing because if you are colorblind, you can't appreciate those differences.